don't know if you can hear me, or if you're even there. I don't know if you will listen to a humble prayer. They tell me I am just an outcast, I shouldn't speak to you. Still I see your face and wonder, were you once an outcast too? God help the outcast, hungry from birth. Show them the mercy they don't find on earth. The lost and forgotten, they look to you still. God help the outcast, or nobody will. Ask for nothing, I can get by, but I know so many less lucky than I. God help the outcast, the poor and downtrodden. You made the outcast, don't cast them out. I don't know if there's a reason why some are blessed, some not, why the few you seem to favor. They fear us, flee us, try not to see us. God help the outcast, the tattered, the torn. I know so many to why they were born. Winds of misfortune have blown them about. You made the outcast, don't cast them out. The poor and unlucky, the weak and the odd, I thought we all were the children of God.
Casualty Mental Ward by Vernon Scannell. Something has gone wrong inside my head. The sappers have left mines and wires behind. I hold long conversations with the dead. I do not always know what has been said. The rhythms, not the words, stay in my mind. Something has gone wrong inside my head. Not just the sky, but grass and trees are red. Flares or traces. Or I'm colourblind. I hold long conversations with the dead. Their presence comforts and sustains like bread. And when they do not come, it is hard to be resigned. Something has gone wrong inside my head. Then about the snipers that I dread, and how the whole world is booby-trapped and mined. I hold long conversations with the dead. As all eyes close, They gather around my bed and whisper consolation when I find something has gone wrong inside my head. I hold long conversations with the dead.
My Friend by Montgomery Lees. My friend is so nice, my friend is so cool. I will always be there for him, and he weren't at all. My friend and I had lots of fun, and now all he does is sit in the sun. My friend is so nice, my friend is so cool, but I don't even know if he's my friend at all. My friend never plays with me, and never stays with me, so why should I be there at all? All he does is ignore me, he sets me aside, and leaves me to hide. I'm starting to think that I don't want to be his friend, but I'm scared to say goodbye. My friend is not nice, my friend is not cool, but I don't think he's my friend at all.
Forgiven by A. Milne. I found a little beetle, so that beetle was his name. I called him Alexander, and he answered just the same. I put him in a matchbox and kept him all the day. Then Nanny let my beetle out. Yes, Nanny let my beetle out. She went and let my beetle out, and Beetle ran away. She said she didn't mean it, and I never said she did. She said she wanted matches, and she just took off the lid. She said that she was sorry, but it's difficult to catch an excited sort of beetle you've mistaken for a match. She said that she was sorry, and I really mustn't mind, as there's lots and lots of beetles she was certain we could find. If we looked about the garden, in holes where beetles hid, and we'd get another matchbox and write Beetle on the lid. We went to all the places which a beetle might be near, and made the sort of noises which a beetle likes to hear. Then I saw a kind of something, and I gave a kind of shout. A beetle house, an Alexander Beetle coming out. It was Alexander Beetle, I'm as certain as can be. He had a sort of look as if he thought it must be me. He had a sort of look as if he thought he ought to say, I'm very, very sorry that I tried to run away. And Nanny's very sorry too, for you know what she did. And she's writing Alexander very blackly on the lid. So Nan and me are friends because it's difficult to catch an excited Alexander you've mistaken for a match.
The Noble Knight by Harriet Williams. As it rose at morning time, the golden sun did gladly shine on the forest field and pine, on the church bell that did chime, waking the villagers just in time to see the noble knight. And as the noble knight came near, they knew they had nothing to fear, but they were concerned about his spear, and they wondered why the man was here, and greeted the noble knight. And then his armour glinted bright, like some holy blinding light, and for upon him it looked right, and it was an amazing sight to look upon the noble knight. Said he, I've come to rest my steed, and we are tired and food we need. Could you give my horse some feed? And me, I'll have a jug of mead, said the noble knight. So they gave them a place to stay, until they were ready to go on their way. They gave mead to the knight, and to the horse they gave hay. But about the fear they still urged him to say. Listen well, said the noble knight. You may wonder where are my sword and my shield. This is a secret that I have never yet revealed. I was riding through forest and over field, when out of a bush came a man and kneeled at my feet, said the noble knight. He had a grey beard that went down to his knees, and a cloak that blended in with the bushes and trees, and in his hand was some rusty old keys. And then he took out a box and unlocked it with ease, and showed it to the noble knight. Said he, I am enchanter, and I come from far away, and here is the spear that on your hands you could lay. But I will not give it to you for nothing, your sword and shield will pay. Now be gone from this place and go far, far away, said the enchanter to the noble knight. After his story, the knight told them more, of daring adventures and things that he saw, of people he met, the rich and the poor, and when the villagers listened, their hearts seemed to soar, hearing the stories of the noble knight. And now, said the knight, I must say goodbye, for it is late and evening is nigh. Then the golden sun set below the sky, and away went the noble knight.
Water Lilies by A. Milne. Where the water lilies go, to and fro, rocking in the ripples of the water. Lazy on a leaf lies the lake king's daughter, and the faint winds shake her. Who will come and take her? I will, keep still, keep still. Sleeping on a leaf lies the lake king's daughter. Then the wind comes skipping to the lilies on the water, and the kind winds wake her. Now who will take her? With a laugh she is slipping through the lilies on the water. Wait, wait, too late, too late. Only the water lilies go to and fro, dipping, dipping to the ripples of the water.
Be Afraid by Charlie Adcock. Be afraid of the venomous banana scorpion poisoning your food and fruit with its pointy toxic tail. Be afraid. Be very afraid of the enormous mouth toilet whale shark gulping you down into the unknown body sewers. Chomp, chomp, chomp. Be very afraid. Be very afraid of the microscopic pen stick insect that climbs into your throat and rips apart your ribs and organs. Don't be brave, be very afraid.
Cantering Along the Country Road by Priya G. Cantering along the country road with my capricious steed, he stops, cautious and coy, to admire a chirping robin. Cantering along the country road, racing the passing cars, while watching farmers grow crops to sell at the country market. Cantering along the country road, just my Charlie and I, leaves crunch beneath his hooves as we canter away.
All Right by Simon Armitage. It was all winter, no clouds, no leaves. The sky was all sky. It was all frost, and all the best stars were mirable bright. Then I noticed this guy on the bridge, this one solitary guy, with the 10-yard, 20-yard, 50-yard stare in his eye, looking onto the tracks, looking straight down the line. I've never been one for meddling. I don't like to pry, but I wandered across and heard myself saying, "All right." A train went past, so whatever he said in reply got atomized. Then he spun on his heels and veered off into the night, and I slept all the better for not just passing him by. Come spring, come shine, the station buttered with warm light. I saw him again, on the edge of platform 999. But he nodded and smiled and silently mouthed, "All right," then jumped on a train and rode away into his life.
Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. So they say the subsequent fall was inevitable. They never stood a chance, they were written that way, innocent victims of their story. Like Romeo and Juliet, 'twas written in the stars before they even met, that love and fate and a touch of stupidity would rob them of the hope of living happily. The endings are often a little bit gory. Wonder why they didn't just change their story. We're told we have to do as we're told, but surely sometimes you have to be a little bit naughty. Just because you find that life's not fair, it doesn't mean that you just have to grin and bear it. If you always take it on the chin and wear it, nothing will change. Even if you're little, you can do a lot. You mustn't let a little thing like little stop you. If you sit around and let them get on top, you might as well be saying you think that it's okay, and that's not right. Cinderella in the cellar didn't have to do much as far as I can tell. Her godmother was 2/3 fairy. Suddenly her lot was a lot less scary. But what if you haven't got a fairy to fix it? Sometimes you have to make a little bit of mischief. Just because you find that life's not fair, it doesn't mean that you just have to grin and bear it. If you always take it on the chin and wear it, nothing will change. Even if you're little, you can do a lot. You mustn't let a little thing like little stop you. If you sit around and let them get on top, you might as well be saying you think that it's okay, and that's not right. And if it's not right, you have to put it right. Platinum blonde hair dye, extra strong, keep out of reach of children. Violet hair tonic for men. Yep. In the slip of a bolt, there's a tiny revolt, the seed of a war in the creek of floorboard. Something begin, the flap of a wing, the tiniest mite packs the mightiest sting. Every day starts with the tick of a clock, all escapes, starts with the click of a lock. If you're stuck in your story and want to get out, you don't have to cry, you don't have to shout, cause if you're little you can do a lot. You must let a little thing like little stop you. If you sit around and let them get on top, you won't change a thing. Even if you're little you can do a lot. You mustn't let a little thing like little stop you. If you sit around and let them get on top, you might as well be saying you think that it's okay, and that's not right. And if it's not right, you have to put it right. But nobody else is gonna put it right for me. Nobody but me is gonna change my story. Sometimes you have to be a little bit naughty.
Dog for All Seasons by Liz Barine. Spring dog, jumpy dog, leaping in the air, barking at the ducks and geese, catch one if you dare. Tired dog, happy dog, panting in the sun, resting underneath a tree, waiting for some fun. Wet dog, dismal dog, slinking through the rain, waiting for the minute when it's time for home again. Bright dog, waggy dog, pounding through the snow, playing with the other dogs, racing to and fro. Warm dog, sleeping dog, good or smooth and neat. This is how I love him best, all stretched out at my feet.
The Vicious Viking by Vanshika Sapariwala. The vicious Viking, he isn't playing, he is fighting in a war. He uses sharp axes, not a saw. On he goes, putting everyone in danger, even the babies in the manger. He's not evil, he just wants to win and have a big brilliant cup of gin. If he loses, he might make everyone furlong. His helmet with a horn might scare someone off. He is a little rough and tough. He is losing, what will he do? Will he send a letter, and who to? Will he do mischief, but with a relief? He has a better idea, something extra. I think he'll run away, but he will stay. He will stop the war with a big giant roar. It is silence, complete silence, no violence. But everyone is confused and whispering. All were relieved though, but were wondering with a big O. The Viking shouted to the other team to sacrifice and settle to a paradise. They moaned with a big no. They groaned to the foe. Lots of negotiation and tension, but there was still a problem. What was wrong? Was it them? The other team went, but somewhere else within the country. They said to go out to paradise, clearly. They were lurking and jerking. Well, what could they do? Now they have left the crew. Den of Adventure by Seren Daly. We can't go out, so I'll bring the world to me. I'll make my own adventures in a den as big as can be. If I close my eyes tight, fairy lights look like stars. I could be anywhere, even on Mars. I'll orbit the world. I'll win the space race. Everyone will remember the steps I've traced. Alone in my den, I can imagine my dreams. One day I'll board my submarine. I'll explore the oceans and the deepest sea. I'll find the megalodon. He'll say hi to me. In my own special wonderland world, there are whipped cream mountains and sweets galore. There are gingerbread trees and chocolate lakes, and the softest, tastiest pink sponge cake. I wish my friends were here, but for now they can't be, so I'll bring the world to me in my den as big as can be. Alligator by Grace Nichols. If you want to see an alligator, you must go down to the muddy, slushy end of the old Karoo River. I know an alligator who's living down there. She's a big, she's a mean, she's a wild, she's a fierce. But if you really want to see an alligator, you must... Oh, I did it wrong. What?
Really good. You coping when you're there, it's brilliant.
But if you really want to see
Alligator mama, alligator mama, alligator mama. And up she rise, but don't stick around. Alligator by Grace Nichols. If you want to see an alligator, you must go down to the muddy, slushy end of the old Korean river. I know an alligator who's living down there. She's a big, she's a mean, she's a wild, she's a fierce. But if you really want to see an alligator, you must go down to the muddy, slushy end of the old Korean river. Go gently down to that river and say, alligator mama, alligator mama, alligator mama. And up she'll rise. Don't stick around. Run for your